Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Let me get prepared. As you can see, I did my hair for you this evening. That's called sarcasm. I literally just got up like a half an hour ago. I was sitting out here listening to some music, just enjoying the cool night air. And trying to get all of my lip stuff out that I will need. What did I put? Did I not put it back in here after I did my video? I almost was positive that I did. My pineapple thing? I guess I didn't. Oh, shoot. I sure didn't. Oh, well. Use my little birdie, Let me see this little birdie. Hand sanitizer. I don't think it's antibacterial or anything. Maybe it is. I think I actually looked it up and it said it was antibacterial. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, how are you guys doing this evening? Yeah, I just woke up a little bit ago and it was all day today. It was so nice. It said it's 72 outside right now. I think it's like upper 60s. And the moon is so full and beautiful. It's like a super moon or something tonight. And it's beautiful outside. Valerie texted me and told me that it was pink. I kept on looking, Alex kept on coming outside and looking at it. And I was like, I don't see that it's pink. And he was like, well, I think it's supposed to look that way because of like the clouds or something. But I just kept on looking at it and I was thinking, I don't see that it's pink, but it was beautiful. And it was such a nice day today. It was like in the upper 70s today. I think it's supposed to be the same tomorrow. We were supposed to have rain today and it never rained. I was kind of surprised. I don't know how long I'm going to vlog tonight because we have to take the dogs to the kennel tomorrow. We have to take the dogs to the vet tomorrow to get their boosters for their lepto whatever shot. So, because I've been sleeping in so late, I don't want to stay up as late as I usually do because I won't get up in time to go, and we're gonna go together and take them, even though we have to just sit in the car. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a really short appointment because they're just getting the boosters. I can't imagine it'll be that long. Let's see what the weather's supposed to be like tomorrow. And then when I come home, I'm gonna make some videos of the world. Well, I actually already have a video to post on my drama channel tomorrow. I may do another one. Let's see. Oh god, it says it's gonna be 82 tonight. 76 tomorrow and partly cloudy. It's gonna go from 76 on Wednesday. Are you guys ready for this? To 47 on Thursday. It's literally gonna drop 30 degrees. And then it's in the 40s and the 50s for like the next 10 days after that or something. Which totally sucks. We're kind of having a cool spring. Like this is like one of the first warm days that we've had. Well, yesterday. But like these are the first couple warm days that we've had. Here's one of my new glasses I'm using. Oh, it frosted up. It's like yellow, do you see? Anyway. Peter, what did you do today? I felt like I was like so lazy and slow today. I actually got a lot done, but I just felt like I was kind of like really lazy and slow today because it was just like so nice. We had all the windows open. While I was filming my videos, Alex took the dogs on a long walk. Let's see. I slept in. Well, last night when I got done vlogging, I listened to my audiobook for like ever. I'm like 3 hours into Educated. I really, really like it. Now, it's kind of surprising to me that Caroline said it maybe it'll get a lot better. And it is really a good book, but Caroline said it was like so much better than Where the Crawdads Sing. They're similar, but very different. In Educated, she grows up in kind of a hyper-religious family. So there's a lot of talk about that. And like religiosity is kind, and her dad's also a survivalist. So it's about her growing up in this, like, I think they're Mormon. They're Mormon. But she says something at the beginning of the book, like in the preface, that it's not like a discussion of Mormonism. And from like what I know of like some friends of mine that were Mormon, there's a lot of things, or are Mormon, there are a lot of things that he believes, friends of mine that were and are, there are things that he believes that I don't believe that her dad believes in the book are consistent with being Mormon, but I could be wrong. I think he kind of like makes it up as he goes. It's just very interesting. And her mom is like a midwife, and they live in like the mountains of Idaho, and it's just about her growing up and not going to school and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, and one by one, like, her siblings leaving, and she's like the youngest, I think. She's a sister Audrey she talks a lot about, and her name's Tess, and she's the one that wrote the book. But anyway, it's really, really good. And I kind of got into it a lot more last night. I just realized that I'm like really in the mood to be reading thrillers, like primarily thrillers right now. I have the heat on in the car, don't ask me why. Turn the air on. It felt good for a second when I started the car, now it's like hot. I'm gonna turn on my vented seat too. If it gets cool, I'll just like open the window. Can I just tell you, I had the most terrifying nightmare before, like right before I woke up. And I was telling Alex, because he was in bed, he was like looking at TikToks, when I woke up. He like brought the dogs up like 45 minutes before I actually got up. I like woke up and I was like, 5 more minutes, and I went back to bed. And he was like, maybe it's your anxiety about everything that's going on right now. And I think like, even though I don't wake up every single day and I like have this like need to like talk about my fear of the situation or what's going on, you know, like I have to believe I have some like subliminal like fear about all of what's going on right now and anxiety. I mean, I know I do, you know. Well, Alex and I were talking a lot about today just our fear of the situation, whether it be like the future, finances, things like that, you know, like not wanting to get sick, being at the top of it, not wanting our friends and family to get sick, you know. And so I must, you know, but anyway, so I had this nightmare, and I was in the house that I grew up in. So if you haven't watched my vlog for a long time, I used to have a lot of nightmares, and they always took place in the house that I grew up in. But I don't have dreams about that place very often anymore. So anyway, it was the house that I grew up in with my mom. But off of our kitchen, we had this door that, like, it was a double bolted door that went down to the basement. And the basement was on the ground floor to the back. So our house like sat on like a hill. If this was the hill, our house was like this, if that makes sense. And so the basement doors, we had two doors. We had two doors in the basement that came from like just like the back. It wasn't even a backyard. It was like we had yard that went right into woods. And so we had these, there were windows down there too. I look back on this and I think it's crazy that we had windows down there that anybody could have just like broken in and we would have been upstairs and we would never have heard, you know, or they could have just like come in through these. But we had double bolted doors down in our basement. The basement wasn't finished, so it was like cement and it was very scary anyway. Just a scary basement. And so like when you walk down these, so anyway, so here's how the house was. So like the front door was over here and it was like off of the main level in the front, but like in the back, because we were on a hill, like back here was, there's two doors and in the basement, and then right here was like a little bit of grass, and then it went right down into like a creek and all these woods. And so And then when you went down, like, into my basement, it was, like, cement. It was unfinished. And you, like, went down the stairs. And the stairs were those kind of, like, wooden stairs. They had carpet on them, I remember. But, like, real thin carpet. But it was the kind of stairs that you go down that had, like, somebody could have grabbed you from behind. Do you know what I'm talking about? And, now I'm like, is there somebody back here? Anyway. Like, you could, like, stand underneath them and, like, look through if somebody was coming down. Like, they weren't complete steps, right? And then to the left was the laundry room that had, like, a washer and a dryer and, like, a wash basin in it. And then it had, like, the ironing board. But then it also had, like, this crawl space, okay, which I always thought was so creepy. And then if you came out into the main part, it was, like, this huge... We used to roller skate down there. That's how big it was, okay? It was this huge cement area. And then to the right of that... like underneath where the stairs were, but like in that corner was this room that was just like a cement room, and it had a crawl space in it. We didn't even keep anything in there. And then all the way to the other left was another room. And so when you would walk in, it would just be like the cement door. It wasn't even a door, right? And then that room was just, like, they kept filing cabinets and stuff. My mom kept filing cabinets and stuff in there. Well, that room had a door that went out to the back. And then the main room had these two windows that were, like, double crank-out windows. And there was, like, a door in between them. I think that's so weird when I look back on that they have those windows down there, you know? And we didn't have an alarm system growing up either. Well, what's so weird about it is... I've told this story on here before, but we had a cat. They called this guy the cat burglar, and he was like climbing up sides of people's houses. I don't even know how he did it, but it went on for like 6 or 9 months, and it was all around our neighborhood. And he was going into people's bedrooms when they were asleep, and he was taking their like jewelry boxes and stuff like that, and robbing them blind. And they called him the cat burglar because he could like literally like climb up the side of the houses and stuff. And so my mom got pulled into this case somehow. I can't remember how it was, but like the dog, so when I grew up, like we had this long leash for the dog that I had growing up, and it was out through the back door through the garage, okay, which was equally as spooky, because in the garage, right by this back door, so there was like the door that went up, and then there was like the side door that you could like open and go out and come in, you know what I'm talking about? Right up there was like a staircase, another one, just like the basement that wasn't finished, that went up to this unfinished area of the attic, that like somebody could have been standing in. I don't know, it just was the house was just a scary house anyway, and you know, it was lots of window seats and stuff like that, and you know, church like tile for the flooring, and it just was kind of a scary house to grow up in anyway. It was a beautiful house to grow up in, but it was kind of a scary house. And I look back on that now, and you know, my mom was very, very scared to be in that house on like the weekends that she was by herself, and I totally understand, you know, looking back now. But I used to have a lot of nightmares at that house, specifically around my mom's drinking, but when she got sober, I stopped having those nightmares. But from time to time, I'll have like a nightmare about that house. Well, tonight I did. Alex and I were living there, and I was putting Boo and Tucker to bed in like my bunk beds that I had in my room, and we had like redone my mom's bedroom, and we were like sleeping in there, like we were living at the house. And he was like, he came in the room and he was like, "Peter, come here." And I had to stop it because I said people's last names. But anyway, so he was talking about one of our friends. So Alex is like, okay, so he's in the bedroom, and so like he comes in and he gets me, and he's talking about like one of our best friends, who I just happened to just say their first and last name, like it was no big deal. Like I'm talking to my friends, because that's how it feels, because I am talking to my friends. Anyway, that they were like, they went out for a run, which is so funny because this friend of ours is like not somebody that would have been like a runner, like they're not somebody that runs. And they were like, yeah, and he was chased by the serial killer. And the serial killer had like supposedly like escaped and was like in jail and got out. And like in the dream, Alex said serial killer, and I was like, so the serial killer's on the loose. Well, in the dream, I knew that this friend like lived like one street over from us. like across the street, like the next street over. And, which is weird because the house, that's in my dreams a lot too, because it was my mom's best friend, like when I was growing up, like on the street, like her best friend that became one of like her best friends for life. It was that house. It was like the street past it. And so I was like, well, what if he's coming to get us? And then Alex was like, do you hear that? And I was like, no, what is it? And we heard something, and Alex started getting really panicky, which is really weird because in situations like that, my husband never really gets panicky, right? Like, he's always very, very calm. And so he was like, so we went down to the kitchen, and I like looked underneath the, and I remember doing this when I was a kid, too. Like, if you were standing in the kitchen, you could look over and you could see if the lights in the basement were on. And, like, I would look over because there was, like, enough of, like, there wasn't, like, a seam around the door. It was just a wooden door going to the basement, you know? And you could see if there was, like, somebody, like, down there. And I, like, remember, like, I looked underneath the door and I saw somebody, like, looking back at me, like, from the bottom of the stairs. They weren't, like, right there, you know? And I, like, panicked. And I was like, we have to get out of the house. And so we went and grabbed Boo and Tucker, and I, for some reason, was like, I need to get my camera in case I need to film videos of this whole situation that's going on. I was like, I want to, you know, like, make sure I'm filming videos of this whole situation. And Alex was like, you don't use your camera. And I was like, no, I want to film this. And so then I was like grabbing my stuff, my fanny pack and like my camera, and I was like looking for a memory card, and I couldn't find a memory card. This is like all in my dream that I just had, right? And we're carrying like Boo and Tucker out, and we're trying to run across the street. Well, as soon as we open the front door, there's an Amazon person there. Which we didn't get any Amazon packages today, so I don't know what that's about. But anyway, and I said to the Amazon person, I was like, there's a serial killer here. And I was like, can you take us away? Like, we were going to, like, get in the Amazon truck, and they were going to take us away. And she was like, okay. And then, like, as we started, like, walking to her van, like, the serial killer, we were, like, halfway across the street by that point, because we were like, she isn't going to make it. And, we heard her, like, getting killed in her van. And so we, like, ran across the street. Well, the people that moved out, okay, so my mom, when her friends and her husband, because like her kids went to college, and so when they moved out of that house across the street, like this family of like 5 kids moved in, and it was like 1 girl and 4 boys, and they were always out there like playing basketball and stuff like that. And this was when I was older, though. So, like, when I was in college, they would have been in, like, middle school and high school. But when I would go over and visit my mom and stuff, they were always out there playing and stuff. And they had this, like, really, like, big, like, garage. It was, like, I don't know. So, anyway, Alex and I ran over there. And I was, like, I told Alex, I was like, come in here, we're going to go in here and whatever. And I was telling them, I was like, you have to close your door. Like, you have to close your door and lock all your locks. Like, I was trying to explain it to them, and they weren't taking me seriously. I was like, you guys, you have to listen to me. And then, I couldn't find Alex. I was looking for Alex everywhere. And then, like, I went inside somewhere, and, like, Alex was on this, like, on the floor of this room. And he was, like, all bound up in, like, duct tape. And, like, his mouth and his legs and everything. And so, like, I got him loose. And then I was like, come on. And we went in the other room, and we, like, locked all of it. Like, we got everybody inside, and we, like, locked ourselves all in this, like, bedroom. That was, like, supposed to be, like, a panic room or something. Like, I knew it was, like, a panic room. And then, like, the parents came home who we were, like, friends with. And they had, like, these 2 little kids with them. And they had been at some, like, function with these 2 kids. And all of a sudden, we were trying to, like, tell them what was going on and what was happening. I'm getting freaked staying in this car. And they're like, no, there's nothing to worry about. And we're like, yes, there is. There's, like, you know, and they're like, you can just stay here tonight. And we were all, like, in this big bedroom. There was, like, 8 of us. And we were all just kind of, like, hanging out and talking. And they were telling us that they were going to move and stuff. And it was really weird. We're like, you're going to move? And they're like, yeah, we're going to move. You already knew that. And they were trying to tell us where they were moving and stuff. And I'm, like, trying to tell them how serious the situation was. And then I woke up. Yeah, that was my dream. Isn't that freaky? Like, literally every night, I'm having, like... I wouldn't even call them necessarily nightmares. But they're just, like, kind of, like, freaky dreams. I don't know. Maybe I am stressed out about what's going on right now. You know, I have to say, like, I'm really, really thankful that I do have YouTube right now, because, like, just everything that I'm doing on there is, like, I didn't even get to do everything. I didn't get to make all the videos I wanted to make today. The review video that I did today, well, I just kind of, like, went through some stuff in my bathroom. It wasn't really the video that I wanted to do. But the other video I wanted to do took some setup. And, like, I don't know, it's just like, and reading my book on my booktube channel and doing my drama video, which is like fun for me to sit there and do, you know, it's just like, it's been a really great distraction to everything that's going on right now. So, yeah. It's really hot in here. If I turn the air on, it gets too cold. But I'm gonna turn the air on anyway. So I got up today. I'm also having like a really hard time waking up. Like when I get up, it's taking me like an hour. I'm kind of like this, you know, like half asleep still for like my first hour. And so I got up today and I made my coffee. I bought 2 bottles the other day when I went to the grocery store of the cinnamon dolce latte creamer, and I bought 1 bottle of the toffee nut. And I'm starting to think to myself, like when I'm looking around, like I'm almost out of mayonnaise. I can't believe it. Not that I have to have mayonnaise, it's whatever, right? But I use it for like my cheese sandwiches. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't believe I'm almost out of some of this stuff. Like, the things I thought I would use and the things I never thought I needed or buying enough. Like, you know, like when I bought creamer, I bought like that day, I bought like, well, I have a vanilla creamer already. And then I bought this toffee nut. And it's a big bottle of the vanilla. And then I have 2, and these creamers are like this big. They're like big bottles of creamer. If you've seen the Starbucks creamers before, I used it when I was in Arizona. I usually never use creamer in my coffee, which is so strange. But now I'm like so stuck on it. It's like, it's not coffee to me unless I'm having coffee creamer in it, you know? So I have the vanilla, which is huge. And then I have the toffee nut. And then I have 2 bottles of the cinnamon dolce latte. And then I bought like 3 or 4 bottles, and they're smaller bottles. They're like this big, of coconut milk. It's called sweet cream though, for my tea, like when I drink like sleepy time tea and stuff like that. So I have all of that cream in there. And it's like, at the time that I was buying it, I was like, this is ridiculous that you're like buying so much of it. But I didn't want to have to come back to Meijer because I just didn't like that experience. And I was like, whatever, I'm gonna just buy this. And it's like now, like, I wish I had done that with some other things like mayonnaise, and I wish I had bought some bread and frozen it. But it is what it is, you know? I guess I could put in one of those, like, what do you call it? What was I just seeing? I think I was looking through. Hold on, let me see whose it was. Yeah, so it's right here. This is on Tyler Oakley's. This is from LA Magazine. Los Angeles Magazine. LA public health officials advise not even going out for groceries during this critical week. Scary. Tyler Oakley had that on his Instagram. So I'm like, who is that? So I'm like, I don't even want to have to go out if I don't have to, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, and we don't have to right now, so I'm not going anywhere. I mean, I'm not going to go somewhere for mayonnaise. I wonder if that's something that you can get on Amazon, too. Like, stuff like that. I'm sure you probably can. What was the other thing I was thinking of earlier? Okay, can I just tell you something that Alex has me totally hooked on? So, when we made that macaroni and cheese that we got at Costco on Friday night, the one I did the video about, Alex was putting this hot sauce on there. And I had never seen him, like, he's all of a sudden, like, I would say in the last year, he's become a total fiend for, like, hot sauce. And he really likes the sriracha. But he bought this other hot sauce because he couldn't find sriracha, and then when I went to Meijer, I found him a bottle of sriracha, and I surprised him with it. Bought him a huge bottle of it. So he's got all this hot sauce, right? Now, I'm not a huge hot sauce person. Like, I like it, but I'm not, like, a huge hot sauce fan. The times I usually eat it, or when I go to, like, Yats, if you ever are in Indianapolis, Yats is a local restaurant. I think they might have it, like, in Cincinnati. I'm not sure, too. But it's beans and rice. It's like jambalaya, beans and rice, things like that. I used to get this one that was called Drunken Chicken. It was my favorite. It was so good and spicy. And then they have this French bread that has like tons and tons and tons of butter on it. It's absolutely delicious, and I would get extra French bread. But anyway, I think I may have done a review of that on my review channel. Not the Drunken Chicken, of... well, no, because I would have started that after I became a vegetarian. I didn't go there for a long time. But they always have, like, they're very, like, beatnik kind of restaurant, you know? So they always have, like, 3 vegan, actual, you know, not vegetarian, but, like, vegan recipes as well. I can't remember what I got the last time. But anyway, like, they have, like, 15 different kinds, or 20 even, probably, different kinds of, like, hot sauce and powders. So I always use this one called Crystal on my stuff, and I really like it. But other than that, I don't, like, usually ever use hot sauce. Well, Alex uses it on everything. So when we were eating the macaroni and cheese that day, he put this hot sauce on the macaroni and cheese, and I was like, is that good? And he was like, yeah, it's so good, because he, like, put it in, and then he, like, mixed it up. And I was like, that's kind of weird. But flashback, I can remember always thinking that people that dip their french fries in ranch dressing were so strange. And, like, I always thought that was so disgusting. Until I did it one day, and now I am, like, the biggest ranch dressing person in the entire world. Although, can you believe that we don't have any ranch dressing at home? That's so funny. Look at that. Anyway, my contact's, like, really dry right now. I just put some contact solution in it, too, before I came out. But anyway, that night, I tried hot sauce in my mac and cheese, and it was so good. So today I made a cheese sandwich, this was so much cheese, on whole wheat bread with mayonnaise and hot mustard. And then I put, what do you call it? Then I made, like, one of those little cups of macaroni and cheese, you know what I'm talking about? And I put some hot sauce in it. Oh my God, it was so delicious. I was like, this is my new favorite thing. They have, like, the Go packets. Who wants those? Not me. Oh, here's what I want. No, they don't really have it anywhere. I mean, they do. Fresh, free delivery with Prime. Oh, it says out of stock. I mean, I don't really want to pay $35 for mayonnaise, you know what I mean? For packets of mayonnaise? That's ridiculous. Pack of 60. $11.99. Don't you think that's kind of expensive? I'm, like, so tempted to get on here and just pay for it. Here's a pack of 200. I am like, what has become of me if I go in here and I buy this? Like, my God. Does anybody know if you like order this like fresh from Amazon, how long it takes? Does anybody know? I have no idea how long it takes. I'm sure you can't get this stuff the same day, can you? Hold on a second. Here, it's called Pantry. I don't know what that means. Well, that's party size. Okay. And then let's look at Kraft Mayo. Here's what I want. Whoa, wait, how do I get one of these out of here? It says your shopping cart is empty. You guys are like, what are you doing? Because I want to take this one out, because I don't need that. Check out Amazon Fresh Cart. Before you check out, oh, toilet paper? They have? No, I bet they don't have it for real though, do they? Oreos. Oh my lord. Should we get some Oreos? Oh my god, mint Oreos. We don't need all that though, do we? Does sound good though. I'll add some for Alex. He likes those. Continue. Okay. What? It says not available, not available, not available for the next 3 days. Well, I'll just check again tomorrow, I guess. Right? Yep, we'll just check again tomorrow. But anyway, thank you for going along with that for me. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen. No. Oh. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Is I think I'm going to get on there. I'm going to go through the pantry and see, like, what are things that we're going to run out of in the next week. Which is really, like, nothing except for chips and dip. And then I will, just put that on there, and whenever a time opens, it's just when I'll buy it. You know what I mean? And it'll just make it a lot easier that way. I'm not going out unless I absolutely have to. Like, I don't even... Like, if we didn't have to take the dogs to the vet tomorrow, I wouldn't go out, you know, at all. But, like, they come out... So, the last time I took the dogs to the vet, which was, what, 3 weeks ago, I think. They called me, and they came out, and like, anyway, the whole situation was like very much like I didn't even interact with them whatsoever. Little Boo Radley was so sweet through the whole thing. Little Tucker tonight, when I was like leaving to go downstairs, I usually like kiss Boo, kiss Tucker, and then I kiss Alex, and then I come outside and I vlog. And Boo Radley was like asleep between the pillows, so I gave him a kiss when I got up. But Tucker was like stretched out all long, and it was very much like that movie, like, what's that movie? God, I love that movie. Body, oh shoot, I have the whole soundtrack. What's that movie called? The one that takes place in Florida. It's so sexy, with Kathleen Turner. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Shoot. Here, Body, I'm gonna say Body Double, but that's a different movie. Whenever I look it up this way, I can't pull it up whenever I look up album. Oh, Avicii, I miss him. Body, it's not pulling up. I think I'm gonna have to go into genre. What's that guy's name that sings that song? You're 1 in a million. Do you guys know that song? They always play that at pageants. I love that song, but Basson or something. I have it in here. Whenever it comes up on my iTunes, Alex always laughs so hard because I love it. And I do like, I like walk like a pageant walk, like in our house whenever it comes on and I'm playing music. I always act like I'm a pageant queen. I love that song so much. Do you guys know the song I'm talking about? It was actually they used it. It's so funny because they used it in Miss Congeniality at the very end, but it literally is like a pageant song. Like they always play it in pageants. They played it in Miss Universe this year, that 1 in a million. You know that song? I love it so much. Okay, soundtracks, not Basic Instinct. Body Heat. Oh, Body Heat, I love it. But like Body Heat is always like so sweaty and hot through that whole movie, and she just stands outside and smokes cigarettes while like, you know, like white curtains are like blowing in the wind, and it always like looks, not to be confused with the Bob Dylan song, but it always looks like so like, you know, just very exotic and, you know, whatever. Well, tonight, because we have the windows open and it's 70 degrees outside or whatnot, the wind is just like blowing through, and like Tucker was just like all spread out real long, you know, and he looked so sweet, and I said I can't disturb him and give him a kiss tonight because he just looks so sweet. Like I really don't feel like I'm like, I really don't feel like I'm kind of like losing my mind at this point with not being able to go out. I do wish this. I do wish that like we knew realistically the time limit. You know what I mean? Like, and I guess I don't know why. I guess I don't know it makes much of a difference. But, I mean, it doesn't matter. We're at least, you know, in for another 2 weeks. And then after that, who knows? But I just, you know, like, I'm not somebody that, like, if they said to us, like, I'm actually the opposite of this, but I know that there's a lot of people that, like, if they said to us, like, okay, we're not going to really realistically be able to leave for, like, the next month or two, like, I'm not somebody that I would, like, freak out over that. And I know that there's a lot of people that would, and I know that there's a lot of people that would, like, start, like, you know, like, wanting to be real resistant to that, and there's already people that are real resistant to that. You know, I've gotten so many requests to do drama videos about YouTubers that are not taking the quarantine seriously, and I'm like, there's a lot that aren't taking it seriously, but there's a lot that are taking it really, really seriously too, you know? And, so, but I just, like, I mean, if I knew that, then I feel like I could make, like, a long-term plan. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I should do that anyway, right? Like, okay, this week I'm gonna clean the kitchen cabinets, and next week I'm gonna clean the basement, and, the second week of May, you know, before we're about to get out of this, I'll start my diet. You know what I mean? Like, something like that. But I don't even know that I think that it's gonna go, I don't know. I don't even know that I think that, I just think it's going to be very different for a long time. I think the majority of people, I don't know. My experience at Meyer was like people were just kind of doing what they wanted to do, so maybe I'll be proven otherwise. I was going to say, I think people are going to take it very serious for a while afterwards, but maybe not. Who knows, you know? Who knows? Let's read some comments. Oh, so what else was I going to say that I did today? Well, I'm almost done with this. Okay, oh, the other night, last night, I finally finished the 7th episode of The Handmaid's Tale. I'm actually really, really loving the show. The whole 7th episode was all about Luke and what happened before. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. I really liked that they went back, they flashbacked and showed that. The flashbacks are interesting to me. They did that in the book too. They did it actually a lot in the book. But that episode was really good. And then maybe it's because I'm reading all these things that are on the run and people, you know, like these, anyway, high stakes adventures, and, you know, maybe that's why I'm having all these weird dreams, you know, semi-nightmares. Anyway, and then I watched an episode or two of The Good Place. Just so funny that my friend recommended that to me. He's like, I think you would really like it. And I started watching it, and I was like, it's okay at first. And I just don't like comedies, you know? And, but I've absolutely fallen in love with that show. So I have one more episode. Oh, I started the 13th episode of the 2nd season. So then I have one more season after that. And I think I'm going to finish that. And then I think I'm going to go in and watch, I don't know, I have so many shows to watch. Wentworth or Unbelievable next. I think it's going to be it. And then when Alex and I finish Handmaid's Tale, we're going to watch Little Fires Everywhere. We're kind of waiting until it's all done, you know? He tonight was watching the series finale of Schitt's Creek, I think. It was while I was eating dinner, and I want to watch the show, so I don't want it ruined for me. But he was watching this, like, behind-the-scenes thing where they were talking about, like, how they picked the cast and how they filmed, like, like, how they picked the audience. Now, I don't even watch this show. I've seen maybe 3 or 4 episodes total, because Alex is, you know, wanted me to watch it, and I am going to watch it. But, like, I'm like sitting there watching this show. Alex is crying, I'm crying, I'm like bawling my eyes out. I don't even know these people. I do think that Dan Levy is sexy though, but I don't even know these people. I'm like crying about this whole situation. And I'm like standing in the middle of the kitchen and I'm thinking, I would have liked to have been an actor and sat around, you know, reading scripts around a big table. Like, I think that would have been a fun life. Do you ever do that to yourself? Do you ever like sit there and you're like, I mean, not that we all of us, like, live boring lives, but let's just be for real, okay? The majority of us don't live super exciting lives. We just don't, right? So do you ever just, like, sit there and you think to yourself, like, well, I guess I could have been, like, a movie star, you know, and you just, like, but, like, for a moment, you have, like, you're realistically thinking about it, right? And you're like, well, I guess I could have been a movie star in Hollywood, and a TV star, and I could have sat around a table. I think I would have liked that. And then you're kind of like, oh, well, you know, it's like, just like this passing thought. It reminds me of that song, that Lucy Jordan song. I should look up the lyrics, because I love it. It stopped. I don't know when it stopped, because I wasn't looking at the camera, but I'm getting ready to look up the song, The Ballad of Lucy Jordan, because I love the words, this song, so much. Here it is. And it was in Thelma Louise. The morning sun touched lightly on the eyes of Lucy Jordan in a white suburban bedroom in a white suburban town, and she lay there neath the covers, dreaming of 1,000 lovers till the world turned to orange and the rooms went spinning round. At the age of 37, she realized she'd never ride through Paris in a sports car with a warm wind in her hair. So she let the phone keep ringing, and she sat there softly singing little nursery rhymes she memorized in her daddy's easy chair. Hold on a second. Oh, what did I just do? Her husband, he's off to work, and the kids are off to school, and there were so many ways for her to spend her days. She could clean the house for hours, or rearrange the flowers, or run naked through the shady street, screaming all the way. At the age of 37, she realized she'd never ride through Paris in a sports car with the warm wind in her hair. And it goes on, it says, the evening sun touched gently on the eyes of Lucy Jordan on the rooftop where she climbed when all the laughter grew too loud. It's kind of a real sad song, isn't it? I'm like reading it and I'm like, oh, I get it now. Oh, I don't know why I didn't get it then. Was that foreshadowing in the movie? I just remember that. Oh, it's by Marianne Faithfull. I just remember that part where she says, at the age of 37, she realized she'd never ride through Paris in a sports car with the warm wind in her hair. And that's like a part, and like they played that part in the movie. And I can remember hearing that. If you've seen the movie, it's the part where Gina Davis, Thelma, is driving through the Badlands late at night. And then when Louise wakes up, she goes, I'm awake. I've never been this awake before. You know that part? But she's like driving through and she's like kind of like weaving on the road. She's like looking at the mountains. And you can tell she's having this moment where she like realizes, you know, like who she is and what her life is about. I don't know why my eye is like kind of stinging. You know what it feels like? It feels like when I haven't taken my contacts out for a long time, which is not the case. Oh, it could also be from my allergies. It's kind of how my allergies feel. But anyway. I don't know. It's kind of like a sad reality when you wake up sometimes and like, you know, for me, well, first of all, I never think that you're too old to chase your dreams. Like, I really, really do believe that you can like accomplish your dreams and do whatever you want to do. No matter, you know, like, how old you are. If you want to be a movie star at 80, you can be a movie star at 80. I really, really do believe that. I think we're really the only ones that stand in the way of what our dreams and our accomplishments are. But at the same time, I think that I think you sometimes have these realization moments in your life where you think to yourself, all these things that I thought were possible, or all these things, I don't know, you start realizing, and you know, and sometimes I joke, because like I'm on YouTube, and I think the reality is, like, YouTube is a young world, and most of the people that are on YouTube are in their 20s, early 20s, you know? The people that are OGs of YouTube are in their early 30s, you know? People like Shane Dawson and whatnot, Tyler Oakley, I mean, late 20s, early 30s. And so, there I am, and I'm 47, and it's like, I don't know, my life's very different from, I mean, I've had entire lives before I ever got on YouTube, you know what I mean? So I think to some degree, me doing YouTube, like, reinforces my age to me sometimes, like when I'm sitting there thinking about it, or especially like when I'm looking through videos and I'm looking through people and whatever, and I'm like, you know, like, it's interesting, like, when I'm watching, like, drama channels, and there's, like, a lot of, like, drama channels that I really like right now. Like, I really like Angelica Oles. I really like her discussions that she has, and this Luke Alexander guy. Well, they're, like, literally, you guys, they're, like, 21, I think. Like, if they're even that old. And I love listening to their discussions, but I'm like, okay, so your drama competition is literally 25 years younger than you. Like, what? Like, you can't compete with this. So you have to just do what you're going to do. You're going to love what you love and do what you do. And you can't think of it that way, right? And I've always been somebody that's believed that, like, your best competition is yourself anyway. Like, nobody else is really your competition. Like, you're competing with yourself. I really do believe that. Because if you are doing the best that you can possibly do, then it's not like anybody else is your competition. And I haven't necessarily really, I won't say that I haven't felt like jealous of or whatever in my past, because I definitely have. But I have to say that that's really not a feeling that I have felt in the last year and a half. You know, I've really worked a lot on that, and I've been really happy for people, and I've realized that my circumstance and my situation are completely, I'm not just talking about YouTube either, I'm talking about just in life in general, you know? That my circumstance and my journey are completely different, which is something that I already knew, but then I'm all of a sudden in a new world on YouTube, and it felt very different. You know, it felt very, it felt different, you know, and I think to be genuinely happy in my heart for somebody else's success, like YouTube gave me that. Like I was able to find that, but I had to go through some hard times about that first too, you know? And I think though the thing is like, if I wasn't on YouTube, right? If that wasn't what I did, you know, for my day in and day out, if it was that I was like working in an insurance company, I would work with people that, you know, were like in their 20s, sure, that had just started, but I would also work with people that were in their 50s and 60s that were getting ready to retire. So it wouldn't necessarily be, you know, like people that were in their early 50s are 15 years away from retiring still, you know? So I wouldn't necessarily be old by the standard of the work environment that I worked in, you know? My dad is 79. Like I talked to my dad today on the phone, and I was like, what did you do today? And he was like, well, I had like 4 virtual meetings that I had to do. But he's 79. You know what I mean? Like, that's, what is that? 32 more years. I'm like in my head doing math. It's like 32 more years of like, so by that standard, if I did what my dad did, like I wouldn't be old by any means, right? But in the context of me being on YouTube, I do feel older a lot. Like I really do. And I think honestly, like this feeling of my life being like half over or whatever, you know, I look at my life and I think, that didn't happen as a result of my mom. It really didn't. Because after my mom passed away, before I was on YouTube, I didn't have that feeling going through my head. And it didn't happen as a result of being with somebody that was 12 years younger than me either, you know? Because Alex and I were together, and that didn't bother me. It really came as a result of me really realizing how much older I am than all of the other like YouTubers that are out there. You know what I mean? And I think the other thing too is like, I think I woke up one day and I just was like, I haven't played a lot of these games since before I was sober. But you know, if you think about it, like I got sober at 22 and a half, okay? The average YouTuber out there is like younger than I was when I got sober. Like, and I don't know, it's just like, you know, or around that age group. Like, there is a huge age gap in me and other YouTubers out there. So I think that like the last 2 years has really been me working on myself. But I would say the last 6 months has really been me figuring out who I wanted to be and what I wanted to do going forward as far as like being on YouTube. Like, how do I just be myself, you know? And I have to say, I think like the payout of that is that like I've just absolutely fallen in love with this channel, you know? That I can just be over here and I can just, you know, say what I want to say and be who I want to be and do what I want to do, you know? And I do think like my drama channel allows me to be somebody that, like my wacky, crazy side of myself, and it allows me to be that. Where I'm like that at home in the house and whatever, you know? And, I don't know, like, like, it's always interesting when I talk to other YouTubers, they're always like, you have 5 channels. Like, seriously, like 5 channels? And I'm like, yeah. But like each channel for me, and I think like it was me no longer feeling like other people were judging that, but me, especially since other people have started 2 and 3 and 4 channels. But but not that I needed that anyway, because I kind of, you know, had accepted that fact anyway, that I was like, this is what works for me, you know? And I love it. I love, you know, having my different channels that, because, you know, it's interesting, like, and I think I asked this question on here last night. We'll have to see if people answered it. I was like flipping through the comments before I got on, but, you know, like, some people will watch 2 channels, but not the other 3. And I'm completely fine with that. You know, it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love when people watch all 5 channels, but, it's like, I think that there's something for everybody out there, you know? And, I don't know. But this battle with myself of feeling older is really something that I think, like YouTube has really been a part of that, in all honesty. Like, if I had to say, like, one negative that has come as a result of YouTube, that would definitely be it. That at times it makes me feel much older than I am. I don't know if that makes sense, like how I'm trying to say that, but, I think for some people, it's easier for them merely because they are much younger. Whereas, I think, like, I'm appealing to a certain audience because of, depending on my age group, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? Like, I think, like, when some people, like, I think I'm already immediately kind of, like, by some people, judged, like, when you turn on my, like, drama videos and you see it's like, oh, it's a guy that's older. It's, like, immediately, right? And so, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me being in my head about it. But I definitely, if I feel old, like in my personal life, I do not feel older. Like, my friends and my family we're all the same age, you know, like, and, it's like within our friend group, like, you know, Alex and like 2 of our friends are the same age. And then, like, you know, like Jason, Melissa's husband, is like, I think 2 or 3 years older than me. Melissa's like 2 or 3 years younger than me. You know, so like our age group is all like mixed in between Alex and I's ages. Some older than me, some younger than Alex, but not much, like the same age group. So I don't, like, age doesn't feel, like, I don't feel old in my age group. It's only in the context of YouTube that I do. And, like, it's interesting. Okay, let's have a discussion about this. It's interesting because, you know, when people are like, age is nothing but a number and whatever. Okay, but like, let's talk about like Jason Nash for a second. Okay, so I think Jason Nash is like, actually, Jason Nash might be older than me. He's either older than me or he's younger than me by like 2 years. Jason Nash is who Trisha Paytas dated for a long time, and he's a, you know, comedian, and he's friends with David Dobrik. Like, David Dobrik is his best friend. Okay, so just to put this into perspective, David Dobrik is 23 years old. Okay, and Jason Nash, hold on a second. Yeah, he's 23 years old. Okay. And Jason Nash is 46, so he's a year younger than me. He'll actually be 40, we'll be the same age in May. He's 47. So I watch, like, I don't really watch his videos, but I've watched, like, some videos of he and David Dobrik together. But I like to be looking at the Instagram and stuff, and I'm like, like, I kind of love the fact that he just doesn't give it, you know, an SHI tut. But at the same time, it's a little cringy to me, honestly. Like, trying too hard. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, and maybe that's my own shit. Oh my God, I said it SHI tut and then I cussed. Maybe that's my own stuff of being an older YouTuber, but sometimes when I see it and I'm like, so you're doing all this stuff, like, it's kind of cringe to me a little bit, you know? maybe that's me wishing that I could be like that, you know, be like, hey, whatever, you know. But there's a certain part of me that doesn't, you know, I'm like all over the place in my head right now. This is so crazy. And I don't judge him, and I don't, you know, dislike any of his stuff. And I think he's got his own, you know, area, the people that like him and whatever. I do not believe, though, that he would be as popular as he is if it wasn't for him hanging out with that whole crew of younger people, though. I don't think he would be as relevant or relatable. And, I mean, I think he, like, very much kind of, like, serves a purpose that you see in, like, those comedy movies of, like, the older guy that's, you know what I mean? Like, I think that that's kind of his role in that. And I think that if he weren't playing up to that role, I don't think that he would be relevant. What was I going to say? I was going to say something and then I totally forgot it. What was I going to say? Oh, I know what I was going to say. So it was interesting that this comment came up, okay? So I got a comment and then the person reached out to me and they said something to the effect of that they felt like I was, the way that I addressed it on my video was that I was offended by it, okay? And the comment was, I think that something to do with when I was visiting out in Arizona to do with Mel, and that it was very wholesome. And they had used the word wholesome with me, okay? Now, I don't by any means think that I'm a prude, and I know that I'm not, okay? And I'm not the most innocent and naive person in the entire world. But I have to tell you, to some degree, what a compliment that word is to me. You know, I was somebody that in my past would sell basically anything, okay, and do anything for drugs, alcohol, and cash. So then, 25 years later, and those things that I was so willing to give away so quickly 25 years ago are things that I will never give away today. And so then for someone to come around 25 years later and say, like, this was very wholesome, or this is a wholesome idea. You know, I was thinking about this when I was playing Words with Friends the other day. I think maybe that was what the comment was about, Words with Friends. And I thought to myself, you know, I've lived a wild life, okay? I have been drunk in some of the craziest places, and I have done some substances in places that I'm lucky I made it out alive. I have shown my body all over the world. You know what I mean? And the fact that 25 years later, I have retained a little bit of class and maybe pulled it together enough that someone sees that I'm wholesome today, like, man, that is such a compliment. I mean, and I mean that sincerely and genuinely. It is really, really such a compliment. And I think, like, for me, it's about who do I want to be? Like, who I am on camera is consistent with who I am off of camera. And I don't know if that makes sense, but, like, that wholesome person that aims to be the best version of myself on a daily basis, you're going to see that person in my vlog and in my Peterisms videos and talking about it on my drama channel, talking about falling on my face and getting back up and learning from mistakes. You're going to see that same person on video that you did tonight if you had been sitting in my living room while I was on my Zoom meeting for my home group. You know? Because to me, that's who I aim to be, that same person. And, you know, like, I think we live in a world where flashy, attention-seeking behavior, like, is what is the most liked sometimes. And, like a lot of like trolling behavior on YouTube does very, very well. But that doesn't really fit my life, you know? And I'm okay with that today. I have to tell you, like, one of the things that makes me so happy right now is how well my vlog is doing. Like, I mean, you know, it's not like it's getting 100,000 views, and I don't know that it ever will be, and I'm totally fine with that. I mean, I'm kind of, you know, I've kind of like accepted the fact that this channel is probably gotten as many views as it's ever gonna really get, you know what I mean? And I'm okay with that. I love this channel. But the fact that it's growing, slowly, but it's growing, and more people are watching it every day, and I'm getting more and more views on this channel every day, is like so cool to me. And it's just me over here just like talking about myself and the world. It's not anything exciting. It's just, I mean, literally me sitting in a car drinking a Diet Coke. And it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy that you guys enjoy that, you know? I don't know. It's just, it's really nice that I can come over here and I can be my just like full self, wholesome or otherwise, you know what I mean? And you guys enjoy hearing me. Like, that means a lot to me. And I think, like, it's funny to me that it's funny to me that I've kind of come full circle, I think, like in my life. This is what I realized. I was thinking a lot about this comment the other day about the wholesome comment. I just didn't know that that comment would hit me so hard. But I was like, you know what? I really like that. I like that. I'll take that, you know? Like, I will take that. You know, it's kind of very much like, and I'm no Atticus Finch. I'm not at all, and I never have claimed to be any moral standard like that. But when I think about Atticus Finch, I think wholesome, you know? When I think of the people in my life that I respect, just because you're wholesome doesn't mean that you don't have a body sense of humor, you know, or you're not colorful and eccentric. And I think about all the people in my life, but the people in my life that I respect and I look up to, you know, like my father and my Aunt Susie and, you know, my mom back in the day and Atticus Finch and, you know, I mean, just so many people, so many characters of books that I've read, you know, people that I've looked up to in my life, Maya Angelou, you know, things like that, are people that lived colorful, eccentric lives. They didn't have to rely on selling themselves short for they could retain a sense of wholesomeness. And I didn't even realize how important it was to me until I got that comment. I just didn't really realize it, you know, that I had really, to some degree, come full circle, you know, from the point of when I was drinking, like at 12 years old to now, you know what I mean? Like, that I get so excited about playing Words with Friends. I mean, people like leave me comments and they're like, I can't believe that, you know, you're willing to play with us. Thank you. I'm like, I'm excited that you're playing with me, you know? Like, I think it's so cool. So, I don't know. I look at the things that this vlog has been all over the place tonight, but surprise, surprise, it always says. You know, I look at the things in my life that, I've just done a lot of soul searching, I think, the last couple days, you know? And the things that I used to think were so important to me when I was much, much younger, which were like, you know, either having lots of fame or having lots of money. I thought those things would make me happy. I really did, you know? And I'm talking younger, like before I got sober. And then I think I thought having a lot of people around me, you know, a lot of people that liked me, which don't get me wrong, validation still feels good to Peter today. still feels good to me today, not in third person, but no, it does, because I'm somebody that second guesses that constantly in my life. But I also realized today that that can't come from you. That needs to come from me. Like, I need to be the person validating myself. I need to be the person that the acceptance comes from. It feels good when it comes from you or somebody else, like my husband or my best friend or whatever, but that needs to come from inside of me. Like, that's where that work needs to be done. But, you know, I used to think that I needed to have a lot of friends. You know, if somebody had said to me when I was 20 years old, you know, it's not the quantity of friends you have, it's the quality of friends. You know what I would have said to myself? And yeah, look, you only got 3 friends. And what does that say for you? Not a whole lot. Not that many people like you. That's what I really believed, right? The show The Good Place has been really good for me to watch, because if you've watched it, it's really about this person that wasn't like a very good person on earth and who she aims to be when she gets to heaven, because she wants to get to the good place. And God, there's a plane up there. You don't see very many planes anymore, do you? Do you hear it? I love the sound of a plane. So it made me think a lot about who I've been through my life, who I was. Oh, the battery's gonna die. Hold on a second. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, The Good Place. But The Good Place, yeah, like, I've been watching it, and it's been really making me think a lot about, like, who I have been in my life, and what things make me a good person and what things I need to work on. I'm always going to have things to work on, okay? And I've accepted that. But I'm like, in this episode, and it's interesting because I don't want to ruin it for anybody that hasn't seen it. You should watch it. It's a cute show. And it talks a lot about morals and ethics in there, which I think, in a comedic way. But she goes back to Earth, and she's trying to be a good person, and she does it for 6 months, and there's no payback, right? And she's like talking to this guy, and she's like, what's the point in being like a good person? Like, you don't get anything out of it, right? And so they're having this conversation about it, and I like had this, like, it was weird. I had like this moment of clarity. And I don't pertain to be like the best. When I'm saying this, I don't want anybody to get this idea that I think I'm this grandiose person, or I'm great, or I'm like so good, or I'm so, you know, philanthropic, or I'm so morally, you know, grounded, or, you know, such an ethical person. I have a lot of work I need to do in my life. I have a ton of work I need to do on myself, right? I'm nowhere near where I would like to be. But I'd like to think that, like, I get a little bit closer each day. And I have this moment of clarity watching the show tonight. You know, Alex is sitting there watching Schitt's Creek, and I'm eating, and I'm sitting there watching it, and she's like talking, and I'm like it really is important for me to be a good person. And I don't know if it was me, like, saying it enough, or like practicing it enough over the last 2 years, that something started changing in me over a period of time. And it's like, I was no longer willing to sell myself, like, short. And I started realizing that, like, there are a lot of lessons for me to learn on this world. You know, there's a lot of ways for me to, you know, there's just a lot of things, you know, like, you know, it's interesting because, like, I didn't speak to people real nice in the past in my life. And there were times that I used language I shouldn't have used. And it's interesting today when somebody will use certain words. And I'm real quick to be like, could you please not say that? That makes me uncomfortable. I don't like that. And then I followed up and say, you know, like, I didn't really realize that the language that we use, you know, like, hurts people. And it's not most people in my life, because most people in my life don't speak that way, you know. But what I didn't realize was how easy it is to do the right thing. I was thinking about this, you know, the other day, that I remember seeing this Oprah years and years and years ago. I wouldn't even know how to look it up. And she had these kids on there that were like straight A students, and like, you know, they did community service, and they all like got like great SAT scores, and they were like perfect relationships with their families, and they like had jobs. They were like just the most well-rounded kids you'd ever seen, right? And she did this panel on kids that make good choices. And I remember she asked this girl, she was like, so do you go to like bonfires and stuff with your friends on the weekends? And she was like, yeah, but like I have to be home at like 10 o'clock, so I just, you know, I just go home. And she's like, now do you drink at the bonfires? And Oprah asked her, and the girl was like, no. She was like, my friends do, but I don't drink. And she was like, why not? And she was like, because my parents have asked me not to drink until I'm 21, and I respect that. And Oprah looked at her and she said, I'll never forget this. And she said, why do you choose to do like the right thing? Like, why do you choose to be like a good person and do the right thing? And the girl looked at her so confused. I'll never forget this. She looked at her so confused, and she kind of cocked her head and she said, because it's so much easier. And Oprah goes, what do you mean it's so much easier? And she goes, well, when you get yourself into trouble, you know, you have to like lie and cover up your lies. And then you have to like, if you get caught doing something you're not supposed to do, then you have to like, you know, like clean the mess up. And she's like, it's just so much easier to do the right thing. I will never forget hearing that, right? Where have we gotten, I guess this is the question I have, where have we gotten in our society that fame, money, attention, the person that's on top is more important than being a good person? And I think I lost my way at some point with all of that too. I do. I think I lost my way, you know? And I guess, you know, what I've realized is it's really more important for me to try my best to be a good person. And, you know, what I realized was today, talking to my best friend on the phone, who's probably one of the best people that I know, and is always so giving of herself, and is to me the epitome of a role model of how to live my life. One of the most unselfish and you know, not self-centered whatsoever. And I'm sitting there talking to her on the phone today, you know, and I realized when you look at the people in my life that I have, you know, around me, I am surrounded, like my close group of friends are the people that I talk to every day, every other day, you know? My 5 or 6 people that I have in my life. I feel so completely blessed to have very good, yet wholesome people in my life. And I'm extremely thankful for that. I'm extremely thankful for that, you know? And I feel like I have a nice little family that I've created in my life, you know? So I'll take that. I'll take that comment, wholesome, as you can see, and I'll own that all day long. I like that comment. It's a nice comment. I don't think it's true every single day of me, but I aim to be that. I really do, you know? I aim to be that. And I think there's a difference between being a prude and being wholesome. I think those are two completely different things, you know? But like, I think that every day that I get up, I ask myself, who do I want to be today? And every day that I get up is another opportunity to be the best version of myself that I can be. And the only thing that I can do is I can role model that for other people. And I think an important part of that is to, you know, explain that I haven't always been the best version of myself, you know? But today, I want to be that, you know? Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm all over the place. This is what too much time. Look at Darlene, Jolie, and Joe up there. This is what too much time at the house by myself and Alex has been. And we don't really have deep conversations like this, you know, but maybe I should read a few comments first before we close down the vlog for the evening. Okay, I'm gonna do something different tonight than I usually do. Because, I did a video about Jaclyn Hill. Man, nobody wanted to watch that video. That video got no views on it. Woo! It's been up for 8 hours and it's got 6,000 views on it right now. That's sad. Okay, let's go over here to my vlog from yesterday. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way back to the very first comment. I'm just going to isolate. So you can isolate the comments from the video. You know, I have to tell you what was so kind of funny when I was going through here was, I was like, oh, look at all the pizza slices. That's so nice. And then I was like, do you know what the other thing is? It lets you know who didn't make it all the way through the vlog. Because they didn't make it to that part of the vlog where I was talking about the pizza slices. I think that's so funny. God, there were tons of comments on this. Okay. Sarah. So I'm going to read the first comments first. So Sarah said first, and Sarah was first. Yes. I just liked your comment. And then Lee said, hello, hello, hello. And then Sammy said, hello, about to cook dinner and listen to you. Hope everyone is staying as sane as possible. Aww. And then Arlen said, hello, hello, hello. Hey. And then Haley said, hi, Peter. Hi, Darlene, Jolene, Joe. She says, hi. Hi. Love seeing your smiling face and hearing your soothing voice today. Thank you for keeping us going during this insanity. Aw, thank you so much. Oh, Sean. Sean said, hi, Peter. I'm early to the vlog for a change. Happy to see your smiling face. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. Love you. I've been having bad dreams as well. She said, edit. I've been having bad dreams as well. I remember one where my family got the virus and they all died. It was only me and my daughter that were left. The city was abandoned and finding human population was by far and few. Then I woke up. I woke my daughter up crying because I wanted to give her a big hug. I was so scared. Oh, Sean. I think it's really affecting us on more of a level than we really know what to do, you know? Girl Friday said, dang, all you good Judies are here so early. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, Jello, she said. Jello. I like Jello. I haven't had Jello in so long. Love you, Peter. Thank you for keeping up your vlogs. It really does help to hear you giggle. Aw, thank you. And then, Evan sent her a blue heart. Okay. Zoe said, I had so many people wave to me on my walk today from across the park or from their driveway. I just started sobbing. I feel like I haven't seen anyone in forever. We can be kind, even from a distance, and think I really needed to remind myself of that today. That's so true. I love that. And then Bethany responded and said, my neighbor, who I never really interact with, unfortunately, waved and said hello as I was checking the mail, and she was putting out her recycling. It felt so good. I'm still working every day and see coworkers, but it was nice. Yeah, it was, so our neighbors, their daughter is staying with them for a while. I'm not really sure, like, I didn't get into it with him but he was taking a walk with their grandson today, her son, and who is like, I'm so bad with ages. He's probably maybe a year old. And so, he was like, what do you call it? Like pushing the stroller when they were coming in. So I was like, trying to distance myself so he could get up the walkway. And I was like, oh, you guys have the baby and whatever. And he was like, yeah. I was like, she's staying with us for a little while. And he was so excited. But like all of us on our neighborhood, like we keep our distance. But people are so friendly in my neighborhood. You know, I've joked about my neighborhood for years, but like they are really, really friendly right now. Okay. Emily said, love you, Peter. Thanks for being you and cheering us up always. Oh, thank you. I don't know that tonight was the most cheerful vlog, but Sue said, blue heart. Hunter, good morning, Peter. Hey. I'm going to go look and see if Hunter uploaded his video that he said he was going to do for us. I bet he didn't. There's his channel. Let's see his video. 10 months ago, Hunter. You need to get back and be filming some videos is what. Okay. Let's see. Ela, blue hearts. Britt said, Peter, how was your day today? My day was good. LOL, I laughed so hard at that. Stephanie, hey girl. She said, good afternoon. Lovely day for staying away from other humans. Hope everyone's feeling good. Hang in there. I love you so much. Mandy said, Stephanie, you can call me anytime, by the way, okay? Just because I keep on forgetting. Mandy said, hello, hello, hello. Peter, me and my husband both have had crazy dreams every night, and I've been hearing a lot of people say that they have as well. I think even though if you turn the news off in your subconscious, we're all thinking of what's happening in our world. Stay safe. I agree. I'm glad it's not just me. Inner Beauty said, and I just entered the world of the Starbucks tumbler with matching straw. I'm so far behind. Oh, okay. NyQuil45 said, hi, hey, Peter, hey. Lee Davis said, thank you for everyone out there who are in healthcare and other essential businesses, and left the pizza slices. Thank you for the pizza slices. I'm going to use those last words of a hoarder. Exactly. Shut up. Oh my God. Okay. Because I was talking about my plastic cups, because my new ones. Now Alex wants me to get rid of my old ones, and I'm like, but I like those. I'll still use them. I can't get rid of my palm trays. I can't find the new glasses on Amazon. Can you post an item number? Thanks, said Anne-Marie. I don't even know where they were. They're, yeah, I'll try to find them. But I ordered like 3 different kinds. Is the problem. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will go and put them in my, I'll see if I can find them, because I've ordered them, so I should be able to find them, right? And then I'll put them in my review, in my Amazon store, which I think is listed below. The House of ASMR said, I am always here for your vlog. Oh, thank you. Sky said, hey Peter, love the post from the store employees. Yesterday I went to Target for the first time in 3 weeks in Oregon, and was surprised to see people were not social distancing and didn't seem to be shopping with a sense of purpose. Saw a lot of teenagers with their friends browsing, no basket or cart in hand. Saw groups of people on their phones, no basket or cart, taking up entire aisles who didn't seem to be there for a purpose. It was very frustrating. Vented to my dad afterwards on the phone. He made a good point saying there are still good, responsible people out there who care. You just don't see them because they're at home. I like that. Britt said, you're asking me good questions every day, Britt. What is one of your proudest moments that we may not know about? Lisa said, are you guys going nuts yet? No, we really aren't, not really. I was talking to my dad about that today. He's like, are you guys getting along real well? And I said, yeah. I said, the first couple of days were kind of a little tense because, like, you know, I have my schedule, and then Alex all of a sudden decided he wanted to take over the house and be there. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't used to it at first, you know, but now we're like getting along really well. It's crazy. What was my proudest moment? I mean, my proudest moment by far is not a moment. It's a piece of my life, and that's my sobriety. It is hands down my proudest moment. Nothing that I have in my life would I have if I didn't have my sobriety. I think other than that, my proudest moment was probably either completing my, not just writing my book, but completing my book. The publishing part, to be honest with you, I don't even care as much about that as I do about just actually that I finished and wrote a book. And reading it, oh my God, I like sitting there reading it, I'm like, yeah, there's some things you could have changed about this. But also getting my master's degree. I never believed I was smart. I never believed that. Like, I really, really struggled in school. I joke about it, but like, I really struggled in school. And I had tutors and stuff, and I just did not get stuff. I just didn't. And I really thought I was just stupid. I really believed that. And you know, I really, really struggled with it, especially since my friends it came natural to them and they all got really great grades. And I think getting my master's degree, you know, I remember I worked the day of my graduation, and it was a real honor to me to work on my graduation. And I remember it was a Sunday and it was Mother's Day. And we were going to eat at, I think, Hollyhock Hill with my aunt and my uncle and everybody afterwards. And I remember, like, I had to work that day. And then afterwards we were doing, like, Mother's Day dinner. And I never, like, applied to go, you know, whatever. And I can remember, like, saying something to my mom and dad about, like, do you care if I don't walk for graduation? And both of them were like, no, that's totally fine. We don't care, you know? But I never walked for a college graduation either. I wish I had done that for my mom. Like, I never walked for my undergraduate degree, and I never walked for my graduate degree and getting a degree. And, you know, I was with Alex when he graduated, and Alex was a double major, and he graduated with honors with a Spanish degree and a business degree, a marketing degree. So his mother was so incredibly proud of him that, like, in that moment, I really wished I'd given that to my mom. But to have this kid that couldn't stay sober, that couldn't even get out of a class to save his life, to work, to have the honor of having a job in a treatment program. There was a reason why I had to work that day. I can't remember what it was, but it was like we all had to pick a holiday. And I think, like, at the time I was working, like, the 4 other, like, counselors, like, that they were all, like, had kids or something like that. Would that have been the case then, though? That can't be the case. But there was a reason why I had to specifically work that holiday, because I usually worked 4th of July. So I worked that holiday because I think everybody else wanted it off since it was Mother's Day. And so I worked it, and it was really, like, an honor. And I don't even know how to explain it, but it was like a real honor to work on the day that I graduated and to choose to do that. And for me, I remember being so proud of myself that day that I had busted my ass, you know, for 2 years of my life. Really had no social life for 2 years other than going to meetings and going to the gym. And, you know, at the time I was living with my first boyfriend, and when I got my master's degree, and I was living with my roommate, the one that just recently, emailed me. And, you know, like, we were all 3 of us working very, very hard, and, like, entertainment for me was just, like, watching a movie one night on the weekend, or going swimming in the evenings, or, you know, whatever. But, like, I can remember just, like, spreading all these papers out on the floor and writing 25-page papers and stuff like that. I don't know, I was just real proud of myself that day. I remember that. And I remember, you know, like, going to Mother's Day dinner, and just everybody just being, like, you know, really proud of me for graduating with my master's degree. Not something I ever thought would happen in my life. Never thought that would happen. Okay. Lisa said it's 90 degrees in Florida. Hot. Danielle said I was dying today. It was so hot outside of my job, 86 where I live. Bethany said high 80s in Texas. If only I could. I'm so happy for you guys when it's going to be 40 in Indianapolis. Shut up! If only I could be laying by the pool instead of cooped up in my office. And Danielle said same. Brats. Kristen said, I actually just accepted an RN job at a COVID clinic here in Nashville. I'm scared out of my mind, but I feel drawn to do what I can. Like I said yesterday, I had been unemployed for 4 weeks and I needed to do something. Well, congratulations on the job and thank you for your work. I know it's much appreciated. And a lot of people underneath here said the same thing. Is Fish said, since the saga continues, strange dreams all around, don't worry. It's the subconscious trying to comprehend the situation and gain control through emotion in familiar situations. Darlene was giving me suggestions on the roof. The garage hasn't changed yet. I'm hoping I was gonna call today to have them come tomorrow, and then I realized that we were going to the vet tomorrow. So I'm gonna call. I meant to call today, but I totally forgot, to be honest. So I'm gonna call tomorrow and have them come either Thursday or Friday, come out and look at it. So anyway, I think I'm gonna get off there and finish up. I'm at 25 minutes and 20 seconds anyway, so I've got like 4 minutes to get off here. So anyway, I think I'm gonna finish there. And thank you for listening to my rambling vlog tonight. Ramble on. And yeah, I was all over the place tonight, wasn't I? Anyway, I hope you guys, but thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please put a blue heart in the comment section below. And for the essential workers out there, please put a puppy dog face. I love the little puppy dog faces. Those are Boo and Tucker, and I think they look just like them. So anyway, put a puppy dog face and a blue heart in the comment section below. And blue hearts for the wolf pack over here, all of us. And trying to keep it together through this whole thing all together. And the puppy dog face is for the essential workers, for the healthcare workers and people that are on the front lines out there. Thank you so much for your service. I really, really appreciate it. Also make sure to give this video a big like. If you can, it means a lot to me. It really does. Make sure that you're still subscribed to this channel. And yeah, and I was gonna look and see. I'll look at that later, but anyway, so I hope you guys are having an amazing Wednesday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something fun today. Do something, I don't know, go outside, take a walk, sit outside and do some breathing exercises or meditations or something, if you're able to go outside. If not, find some peaceful, area in your house and just try to enjoy it for a little bit. And yeah, let's see what else. And do something today that will make yourself proud tomorrow or a week from now when you look back on it, or a month from now, or a year from now, or 60 years from now. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you do your daily positive affirmations and you say to yourself all of the good things about yourself, all of the good positive things that are that you need to hear. And since I believe in staying in the present, one of the things that we will say, and I'll just pick one for the day, is today is going to be an amazing day. And say that to yourself every single day. Say, today's gonna be an amazing day. It's gonna be full of opportunity. It's gonna be full of laughter and joy. Today I'm gonna be happy, joyous, and free all day long. I'll stay peaceful and content. And if you say these things and you believe them, and then you get off track, then you can start your day over whenever you want. And that typically, I try to do that. I try to do it. It doesn't always work for me, but I try to. And isn't it funny that my hair got a little bit nicer throughout the video because I kept on messing with it? It's getting so long, you guys. Look. Anyway, and I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. And Most importantly, don't forget to reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you, and just call them up, text them, say, hey, I just wanted to let you know I was thinking of you and I love you and you mean so much to me. And, yeah, and what was I gonna say? I'll dedicate this video to my good Judy Valerie. Ballerini! I miss her so much. I miss my friends. I haven't seen my friends, you know? So, that's my special person today. Valerie, I love you. And, practice random acts of kindness. But what? Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anyone. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. It's a good thing to do. Just, yeah. Practice random. It's easy. Okay, you can do it from home. You can, there's all kinds of things you can do. Anyway, I love you guys, and I hope you're staying healthy, and you're staying safe, and you're staying sane, and I will see you tomorrow. I love you. Bye! I meant to say, bye! Love ya!